So, first of all, thanks everyone for joining in today. And as you already know, I'm here for taking a session on basically hackathons. And I'll be also talking about different stuffs, not just about hackathons, but about different experiences I've been through, about my hacker experience. What are the things which you can keep in mind while you're participating in a hackathon? What is hacker in general? What are the hacker communities? And how you can take most out of a hackathon you're participating in? And what are some important phases you can concentrate on while participating in a hackathon so that you can increase your chances of winning a hackathon altogether. So first of all, thanks for joining in this session. I hope you all are pretty safe at your end, because everyone knows this is the tough time of COVID which we are going through. And as you can see on the screen, the topic name or the session title is the hackathon journey. So let's unfold that right now with my session. And also, before we start, I would really appreciate if you all would be active in the chat, so that I can know that I'm not the only person talking right now with you all people. Please be active in the chat. Feel free to introduce yourself. Where are you coming in from? Let us know your city. What is the branch you are from? What is the year you are studying in? Feel free to introduce yourself, so that I can also understand what are the folks, what are the type of folks joining in, and what are the and also let me know that if this is your first hackathon, second hackathon, or n number of hackathon, please let me know in the live chat. It would be great. I'll be looking out for the chat as well. And with that being said, let us start with the session. And already, the hosts have already introduced me, but still to give a little bit more information about myself. As you can see on the screen, I'm an Angel Hack Student Ambassador. I'm a former intern at Progate. I'm also a Google Crowdsource influencer, a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and the lead organizer for my very own hackathon, that is Hack This Fall. And apart from that, what I like most is interacting with people, which I'm already doing with all you amazing folks right here in the live chat. And thanks a lot, Manjeet, for letting us know that this is your first hackathon. I wish great luck for you for this hackathon, and feel free to ask all your questions. I can understand what type of questions a beginner, a person who's starting with the hackathon can have. So never hesitate to ask the question in the live chat. I'm always there for you, right? So even if the question is silliest, please ask them. I would recommend that. And yes, this is all about me. Let's move forward to the main topic. So to begin with, this is a very basic terminology, right? What is a hackathon? So what do you think, according to you, what a hackathon can be? Please let me know in the live chat. And before we move forward, I want your perspective, that what according to you a hackathon is. For example, Manjeet is new in the hackathon journey, in the hackathon culture. So I want to know that how Manjeet is curating the word hackathon. Likewise, there are many other folks, Rahul, Chandrachud, then Harish, and there are a lot of other folks, right? So please let me know that what according to you a hackathon is, right? So Swastik is telling that I barely know what hackathon is. Very first time for me. Absolutely. I hope after this session you are able to understand what actually a hackathon is. So let's move forward and understand actually what hackathon is. Meanwhile, keep coming with your answers. So first, let's go with the definition, right? According to the definition, hackathons are an incredible way to bring your community together to learn new skills, build amazing projects, and share ideas. At the same time, hackathons can also be best described as an invention marathon, right? So this is what a definition basically tells. There are, of course, n number of definitions for one word hackathon, right? But this is one of the definitions which I have come across. And I can see Asta telling, for me, hackathon is spending a good weekend. Absolutely. That is one of the reason which I also, participate in a hackathon or contribute in a hackathon. But let's understand this terminology. Now, when we hear about the hackathon, the question comes in our mind that for whom is this hackathon and who can attend one, isn't it? So for answering this question, I would say answer is simple. Anyone who has an interest in technology attends a hackathon to learn, build, and share their creations over the course of a weekend in a very relaxed and welcoming atmosphere, just like here at HackNITR Rourkela, isn't it? So now you might be having a question that for becoming an attendee of a hackathon, what is the necessary criteria? Now, let me tell you, you do not have to be a programmer. And one more thing is that you certainly don't have to be majoring in computer science, engineering, or computer science branch, right? It is not necessary for you to be from CS a background or IT background. Anyone from any other background can participate in a hackathon. This is one thing. So now just imagine where does this concept of hackathon comes from, right? Basically, let me tell you that hackathons are also called a hack day or hack fest. And do you know what? This was born out of the open source community. Yes, the open source community. You heard it right. And when we talk about hackathons, there are n number of impacts which hackathon is bringing all together on the plate, right? So let us talk about some of them. Now, being a part of any hackathon brings a lot of opportunities and many ways with which one can contribute to solve the shared problems of our society. So let us understand what are the few out of them, the impacts that hackathon creates. Also, while I speak, if you have experienced any hackathon before, do let us know in the chats the best outcome of it. So, whether it is a hackathon which you have attended as a hacker, as a organizing team members, please let me know in the live chat that what was your best experience being a part of that journey. How was it? Did you enjoy it? If you have enjoyed it, what was the best part out of it? So please let me know that particular thing in the live chat and I'll be looking over it. And without wasting much time, let's move forward. So here's a short line. Now in the hackathon ecosystem, a problem is just not considered as a problem, but it is seen as a problem that gives way to an opportunity, isn't it? So now understand this. There are multiple problems around us, isn't it? Now some problem needs the solution, or we can say a better solution. So for creating a solution, there are different end goals which surrounds a hackathon. Now whenever I talk about hackathon, everyone have this preliminary idea that we will be getting a problem, we'll be solving them, and then that's it, we'll be submitting the project, and yeah, that's all for us. And let me see the live chat right now. A steep learning curve for me. Yeah, absolutely, Sudhanshu, that's a perfect experience which you can say, because everything gives you learning, and hackathon especially gives you a lot and lots of learning. So that is the thing. Now I was talking about problems. So there might be a number of problems which should have some solution, or I would say a better solution. So what can be the best place other than hackathon to come up with those problems and solve them? So let me give you an example and make you people understand about the same. Now a solution can be as simple as an application that helps you find your lost vehicle keys in your house. Just imagine you're going somewhere and you are not able to find your vehicle keys. This happens with me a lot of times. So what did I do? This is a problem. I tried to solve that problem by creating an application. So that this is just a simple problem. So that is the thing. Also, the purpose is all about finding a solution to a real world problem with code and collaboration. So that's the matter. Also, as you can see, hackathons are inclusive. Now, when I say inclusive, what do I mean? I mean, it is open for everyone, not just coders or computers or any computer science students or IT industry people or something like that. But hackathons are for a diverse and dynamic group of builders, programmers, creators, designers, and any other title or role which you can think of. So do not even think that if you're not from computer science background, you cannot participate in a hackathon. If you have an interest in technology, hackathons offers an opportunity to learn, grow, and pick up some valuable technical skills that you would require in your future careers, isn't it? Also, hackathons are solutions based. As you already know, we discussed about problems earlier. Hackathons are solution based, and while they also serve as an opportunity for both kinds of people, that is extroverts and introverts, so that they can foster their relationships and social and interpersonal skills. So that is very important. And it happens while, whenever people are engaging in a conversation, that type of conversation can be a shared type of conversation or a genuine interest sharing conversation, isn't it? Only in such a situation a person can grow as a person in various other skills like interpersonal and a person being introvert or extrovert. So hackathon creates interpersonal impact. That is really an important thing, and for that one needs to open up to different conversation and feel as if you are talking to someone who is already your friend and you're not just meeting on the day of hackathon. So that is the thing. So what happens is that people from different backgrounds gather at a single place to learn, to collaborate, to grow. So that is one thing. Not only this, hackathon helps educating people. Now, as I saw the chat earlier, many of the folks are attending their very first hackathon. So you will definitely become better than before, because what happens is that you get an opportunity to learn from others and teach them at the same time. That is really very important. And also, apart from just learning and teaching others, you get to add projects in your portfolio to make yourself stand unique from others. How cool is that? And also, just take an example of HackNITR. You'll be attending various speaker sessions right now you're attending one. So you might be learning a lot of other things, you know. So that is the thing. Also, during the hackathon, you'll be doing a lot of things all together, which will, at the end of the day, make you become the better version of yourself. So that is the thing. Also, Harish is saying, I totally agree with Siddharth. Hackathons are a smooth way to pick up skills. Absolutely. You might have observed when you were not participating in a hackathon, for example, before Hack NITR, just see yourself. What were you? And after these 2 or 3 days, just imagine what you have learned. At least if you have learned a little skill, that is the add-on to your overall development, isn't it? So definitely you will learn or earn yourself a skill. And that is really very important in growing yourself as a human, as a person, as a developer in this industry. So make sure you are taking most out of it. Also, hackathon helps creating valuable connections. Yes, I mean that. And anywhere I go, I more focus on networking, connection building. And understand this, hackathons are great place to meet like-minded people who all are having some different backgrounds, different skills and experiences to share, isn't it? And also you get to meet hackers, each coming from different branches, different backgrounds, with with different knowledge. And also you meet different mentors with variety of skill sets. Also there comes different sponsor representatives with whom you can directly connect and know more about the company sponsoring the hackathon. So that is the thing. And believe me, everyone have something unique to share. Networking is my favorite part to do in any event or a hackathon in particular. So do not ever miss that opportunity. In Airmeet as well, you might have observed that apart from the session screen which you are in right now, there is a lounge screen as well, the lounge section where the hackathon participants are available. So make sure you are hopping on to those networking session. Just meet those people, interact with them, ask what they are doing, exchange your ideas, exchange your views. Make that bond, make that connection. That is really very important, because this is how you will grow your network. This is how people will help you out, maybe after this hackathon, or you may help out someone. So please take most out of it. Also, now here's the word opportunity. Now, when I say opportunities for anyone is very important, and hackathon does helps creating many of them. Also, you might be thinking that what are the different opportunities? So let me tell you, it's like collaborating with people, as I said, making different projects, winning prizes, of course, learning new valuable skills, building some meaningful connections, getting internships. Of course, when you will interact with sponsor representatives, you will understand if the company is looking for any interns, so you have a high chances of getting internships. Also, of course, who can miss earning free swags? I heard the host of the session telling that those brownie points. So on that note, I would say for all the folks joining in today and watching me right now, I can see 24 people watching me. So what I can suggest you at this moment, and I can help you in earning your points, is just take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot of this Airmeet screen of yours, whether you are joining in from your mobile device or from your laptop device. Please take a screenshot and post it on Instagram, social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere you are from, and post that. And just not post the image or photograph or the picture. Write in the caption what are the takeaways from this session, what you have learned, what you have learned new, what is that one skill which you will be implementing after this session. And write something so that you can add value to the community, you can add value to all your social media followers, your social media viewers. So make sure you do that, and feel free to tag me. You can see my social handles on the top right, I guess. So it's @Siddharth underscore hacks, and also tag HackNITR, so that I and Hackathon can reshare your post, and so that your reach can be developed in a more better way and you can add value to the community. So enough of that. This way you can earn yourself free swags, right? So yes, I was on the opportunity. So yes, you can get free swags. Of course, eating free food. We are not meeting in person right now, but definitely when we used to meet in person before, in 2019 and beginning of 2020, we used to have lots and lots of free food and desserts and whatnot. So I'll not talk more about that. And yeah, so the meaning of what I'm talking is there are n number of opportunities, right? Right, from small to big, big to very big, right? So make sure you are considering those. And now you see, participating in a hackathon gives you a pool of opportunities. And what you all need to do is you just have to be a good observant and should have a right mindset to grab the suitable one. So that is really very important. Unless and until you won't have that right mindset of grabbing those opportunities, you won't be able to do that. You should have that curiosity. You should have that enthusiasm that I need to do this thing. And at that moment of time, you cannot be lazy at that time, right? Because opportunities does not come again and again. So make sure you are grabbing them at the right time. All right, moving forward, the very important and best thing is that hackathon is not just an event of few days. Hackathon helps building a community. That's the thing. Now, want to know more about it? So allow me to throw some more lights on the same. But before that, let me know in the chats that what is that one thing you like about any community in general? And I'll be looking out for your answers. What is that one thing that you have experienced, or that is one positive thing about the community? What's that thing which has helped you in general? Okay, I can see Harish telling me that all hackers who submit a hack get swags and stickers. Of course, I wish that there are some swags for speakers as well. I'm very curious to know about that. Okay, Asta tells hackathons are best place to start something new. There are people always there to guide you. Definitely, there are mentors, there are speakers like me, there are organizers, the sponsor representatives. They are always there to help you out and guide you out in whichever problem you are. So do not hesitate in reaching out to them, because they are here for you all people, right? So that's the thing. All right, so cool people, yes, the experience of community, cool people, they build each other, getting help from others and getting to help others. Definitely, that's one of the most interesting thing, because being a part of community, you get to meet a lot of people. You can help out them and they help you out, and it feels so good when people are helping you, when you are able to help someone and the same person tells you thank you. That one thank you word helps me growing myself as a lot. It motivates me every day. So that's the thing. Don't worry, Siddharth, we are super grateful to have you. Definitely we gonna surprise you. Okay, thanks for that. I'm waiting. I got friends with this because of community. Yeah, definitely, that's the thing. All right, so keep your chat coming in. I'm really happy to see a lot of interaction in the live chat, and let's move forward. All right, so yeah, hackathon community I was talking about, and when I say hackathon creates community, what I mean is hacker community. Now understand this. There are different meaning of the word hacker, but I would like to make it clear at this moment that here at this particular word, hacker is not the one who is breaking into a system or doing some kind of a robbery. Instead, hacker is the one who is participating in a hackathon. So now we need to understand that hacker is something different. I still remember when I started my hackathon journey, I was very much curious about the word hacker, because I was like, wow, I would be a hacker after participating in a hackathon. I would be able to, do some, mischievous robberies in my house itself. But it was a myth for me actually. And you all people watching me right now also need to understand that hacker is altogether something different. But let me tell you what hacker community actually is. So hacker community is nothing but a group of like-minded people having same interest of attending hackathons and also motivation to solve the shared problems of our society. So isn't it super awesome to be part of such a community? Yes, it is. Now you might be thinking, for whom is this community, or who can be a hacker? I repeat, who can be a hacker? Not someone who wants to break into systems, but who wants to be a hacker or who can be a hacker. So let me tell you. A hacker community have people with different skills and backgrounds. There are people from beginner level to intermediate to advanced level. Even you can be part of the community. Your skills and levels are not the criteria to join. They will eventually grow as you become the part of this amazing community. As I said earlier as well, people from any level of background, any skill level can join in a hackathon and become a hacker. As I said earlier as well, eventually you will grow up being a part of a hackathon community. So that's not the thing. So what else do you experience being a part of hacker community? Let's see that. As I said earlier, that I love interacting with people, and hackathons gave me that opportunity to make new friends, right? Now, friends with whom I can share my knowledge, discuss common interest, and learn from them at the same time. So isn't it, it feels so good to have people who understand you more than yourself. Right now here at HackNITR, I've made plenty of friends like, Harish, Smarak, Rahul, Astha, and a lot of other people, right? So this is how you make friends, not just by participating in hackathon, but you start interacting with them maybe on Discord or Slack, whatever communication channel you are having, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Just react to each other's post, congratulate them, help them if it's required. This is how you make bond. This is how you make connections. So that is the thing. So hackathon helps you make new friends. Also, hacker community helps different hackers, different people to collaborate based on their interest and based on their common skills. Also, people come together to work on a project to bring a solution for an existing problem. So this is how collaboration takes place. And what I also recommend is collaboration first, code second, because unless and until you won't collaborate, you won't talk with people, you won't discuss your idea, how will you code your idea, how would your idea comes into the picture? Before code, it comes collaboration, and hackathon helps in collaboration making a success. So that is the thing. Also, being a part of the community, you can share ideas and knowledge and teach people at the same time. As many people in the chat already said that learning and teaching from others, learning from others and teaching others as well. So that is the thing. You can share your ideas, you can share the knowledge which you are having, and this is just so much that there is just so much to gain that I cannot express that enough. So that is the thing. But most importantly, be the part of the community to celebrate and have fun and enjoy your presence, because you are an awesome person being the part of an amazing community. There is so much that can be said about it, but let me tell one more important aspect of a hackathon community. And that is, apart from all the things I talked about earlier, you get to contribute to open source. So if you were finding an opportunity to kickstart your open source journey, hackathons are best place to do that, as open source projects are born during the hackathon. Now understand this statement. Whenever we talk about open source, there are multiple ways open source projects, open source organization comes into the picture. But during the hackathon, open source projects are born. What I mean by that is, you are of course not going to copy paste some code. You are definitely coming out with your own ideas and pushing the code onto the GitHub, so that the judging can happen. And when you leave that code online on the GitHub, it is open source. Anyone can see that code and contribute to that code after the hackathon itself, right? So that is the thing. And most importantly, open source is not just about code. Understand this. Today, open source is used for designing, documentation, recruitment, file sharing, and multiple domains one can think of. At a hackathon, hackers uses open source tools, open source softwares and platforms, and also many of the hackers build their skills overnight around open source tools and do wonders with the same. So from starting with the normal hackathon open source projects, hackers end up doing valuable contribution to various organizations across the world. And they end up building skills that can help make this world a better place to live. So that is the thing. Also, as you can see in the slide as well, this is my picture from my third or fourth hackathon which I participated in. And I still remember that is when I started with my open source journey, and it's never looking back from there now. So definitely you can see how geeky I am. There are a lot of stickers on my laptop. Definitely you can also earn them, as I said, earn those brownie points. So I'm just giving a reminder and helping organizers right now. All right, moving forward. Now, as you can see on the screen, it's written hackathon continuous tense. Now you might be wondering that what do I mean by this particular three words, that is hackathon continuous tense. Now we already know about hackathon. I hope you already know what hackathon is right now, right? And continuous means something which is happening right now, which is running, and tense, which you already know, you might have studied in grammar classes. So wondering what do I mean by that? So well, after talking about hackathons, the impact which hackathon creates and the hacker community, I will highlight few important phases for you to more focus on during the hackathon, right? And before we move forward, let me see the chat. I can see Harish I wonder how many layers of stickers are there. Lol. Oh yes, there are around one and a half layer of sticker. I have got a lot of sticker in different boxes at my home. So for checking out all my sticker collection, make sure you are giving me a follow on my Instagram ID. There are lots and lots of things which you can find over there. Just kidding. Definitely you can check it out. So yes, moving forward on the hackathon continuous tense. First up is idea. Now, understand this. When I talk about idea, what is the first thing which comes into your mind? Let me know in the chat what do you mean by idea, and what do you think a idea can be, or what is that one thing which comes into your mind when you hear the word idea? Let me know in the chat. I'm waiting. What can be a specific definition of an idea or your perspective of an idea? Let me know. It can be idea or a problem or something else. What do you think? What is an idea? Idea is a solution to a problem. Yes, that can be a particular definition for it. So thanks, Asta, for putting that down in the chat. Anyone else? Something that excites us. Of course, that can also be one of the definition for the idea. What else? What else do you think when you hear the word idea? Let me know in the chat. It can be anything. Please do not think and write the answers. It can be vague. It can be everything, right? That is the one thing you need to understand. Never think twice and then go ahead, because the first thing which comes into your mind is the actual idea, and the other thing which comes into your mind is a made up idea. So come with your actual idea. Okay, Pritish says that a solution to even a minute problem which can help the community. Yes, definitely, that's your perspective, and that is definitely correct. So yeah, enough of the answers. And yes, as you can see, there are different perspectives to what an idea can be. Now let me tell you, according to me, an idea can be something unique, something creative, or something which is just yours, right, and is been produced according to your thinking, right? Okay, John says something that helps the community in their day-to-day life. Definitely, John, thanks for putting that in. So as I said, idea can be something which is just yours and is been produced according to your thinking, right? And in the same way, idea can be considered as a problem which you need to find. Now when I say a problem which you need to find, where will you find this problem? There are there might be an answer to this question as well, that where to find a problem. So let me tell you, for finding a problem, what you just need to do is observe your surrounding, because problems are many. Let me tell you, as I said earlier, you are having a difficulty in finding a misplaced vehicle key. Or let's take another example. Maybe you have an elder in your house, and for example, your grandmother is having some problem in finding her lost spectacles. So this is a problem. See how simple and small the problem is. But what you can do is, with the help of your skills, with the help of the knowledge which you are having, try to make an application or some idea so that you can solve that particular problem and help your grandmother in finding her lost spectacles. So that is the thing. Or let's talk about some bigger problem. So a bigger problem can be a weak algorithm of a traffic signal. Like many a times you might have observed that on a crossroad where there are no cars have a green signal, and the other three the other three sides of the road have to wait until the traffic signal hits 00, or it can be anything. So this is how problem can vary into their sizes. So never think about that. Just think about the problem which you can find around yourself, in your family, in your society, in your community, or anywhere. Just find out that and try to solve that. So problems can be from smallest to biggest. Now what you can do is sit with your team, brainstorm on various opinions, ask your friends, ask your family members, talk to the mentors at a hackathon, take their feedback. Also, what you can do is check out the sponsor tracks which are there in a hackathon. Also, keep in mind the tech sticks and skill sets of your team member, because that is very important. If in case you are wondering, just making a game but no one is knowing any and no one is having any game development skills, so that is, I would say, a wastage of time. So keep the tech stack and skill sets of your team in mind as well while thinking of an idea. Of course, definitely you can learn out uh, different frameworks during the hackathon, different languages, but that is the another story altogether. And after this, eventually you will start getting an idea for finding a good problem which you can solve. So enough about the idea. Let's move on to the another phase. So next up is teamwork. Now, after you finalize your idea, it really becomes important to distribute the things among your team. Understand this. Each member of your team will be best at something. Make sure to utilize your skill at this moment because this is your time. Divide your work according to the skills and interests which you and your team members are having. Also, communicate actively. Talk about the issues you are facing, discuss on different approaches, and keep backing each other because you all people need each other's support. And being a team member, you have to be strong and firm within yourself. So keep backing each other. Also, if your team member is not knowing about something, make that person aware about it. It's not like, do not make fun of others, right? That you're not knowing this thing, why you're not knowing, you should have known that. No, do not do that any time ever. Please make sure that your team member is understanding what you all are planning, right? If they are not knowing something, make them understand that this is how thing works and this is how you can learn something. Make give them some resources, documentation, or something like that, right? So teach others and learn from others as well, because anyone can learn from any other person out there, being a elder, being a younger one, you know. So that is the thing, never stop learning. Learning has no age. And also, you do not have to compete among yourself. Remember that you are working in a team. So do not think that I'll do better than my team members. No, it's not like that. If you want to give best in the hackathon in which you are participating, make sure your teamwork is definitely on point. And with that being said, with a fantastic team effort, you can teach, learn, grow, and succeed at the same time. Now moving in, next comes is execution. Now whatever idea you have thought about, whichever way the work has been divided in your team, now is the time to execute it, right? And take some action on what you have thought right now. And most important part is note the time and set goals and targets to achieve in particular period. That is really very important because you need to be aware about the schedule of the hackathon and what amount of time duration which you are having. Also, every individual team member should start executing the planned and listed functionalities that you have proposed in your idea. That is important. Also, what you can do is try to keep buffer time for yourself, just in case you take more time on various aspects while building a solution. So having a plan B, and if you foresee plan A not working well, make sure few of your members start working on another plan, that is plan B, while other members are still trying on possibility of making plan A work. So that can be done. Having two plans all together in a single hackathon never goes in vain. Definitely, if plan A works well, you can implement plan B in another hackathon. But if in case plan A does not works well, you have plan B ready. So you won't panic at that moment of time. So having plan B is always helpful and relaxing. And also when I talk about plan B, let me tell you what it can be. It can be different problems with a solution or a single problem with different solution. It can be in either way. So enough of execution. Let's go on to the final fourth phase, that is pitch. So last but not the least, I would also like to throw some more insights about the pitching. Now, this is very crucial phase and you all people as a team can turn the tables here. Understand this thing. And this is really very important. So for a virtual hackathon like HackNITR, pitching can be in two ways. Either you will be called in a Zoom Meet call and you have to pitch about your hack to the judges. Or the second way can be that you have to submit a description about your project with a demo video. So it can be in either way. So in both the cases, most important is to stick with your idea and not to fluctuate. You need to be on point with description. Start with an introduction, explain the problem, and then the solution. Now, the solution should be the one solution which you have come up with during the hackathon hours and not before the hackathon. Understand this thing, because hackathons are all about, coming up with the solution during those hackathon duration. So make sure you are adding only that particular amount of ideation. Now keep in mind the judging criteria as well and make your pitch which answers all of them. For example, there are different types of judging criteria, right? Like innovation, what the tech stack which you have used, the completion rate of your idea or hack, right? Or what are the learnings which you have done, and there are a number of criteria. So make sure you are adding such points in your description, in your pitch, that can answer all those judging criteria, right? Also, apart from that, tell about the USP, that is unique selling proposition. Now, tell how it help others, what impact does your solution creates. Tell about if you have faced any difficulties approaching the end result. Never hesitate in telling that how difficult it was for you to reach the end result. Judges also know that no complete product can be built in such a short period. So let the judges know that you have faced these difficulties, and this is how you have overcome those difficulties. They will definitely appreciate that thing. And tell the judges, or tell in your pitch or description, that what did you learn out of your entire journey in a hackathon, and what were the tech stacks you have used. So keep that in mind. And after all of this, at the end, it all should be around your idea, and listener, or the judge, should have three things in mind: the problem you're solving, the solution you have come up with, and the impact it is creating for others. So that is the thing. And at last, I would say, give your best and leave the rest. That is all I can say at the end, because definitely there were a lot of other points which you can work on. But after working on each and every point, if you are still wondering that if you are missing something, please do not wonder about that. Please be calm, and give your best. After giving your best, you have to leave everything on the upcoming phases. So let it be. Do not worry about that. So after knowing all of this, you might be wondering that how one can get involved with hackathon and hacker communities. So well, it is very simple, and there are various roles with which you can get involved, and let us quickly have a look on them. So first of all, let me give myself a huge shout out. You can see myself standing over there. Uh, these were some good moments from 2019, 2020, when we were able to meet in person. And just the way right now I'm giving a talk in front of you all awesome people. This was another such moment where I was discussing some great points with another pool of amazing people. But I'm definitely missing out that particular moment, and let's hope for the best, and let's recover out of this situation as soon as possible. Anyways, so let us begin with how you can get involved with the hackathon and hacker community. So you can become a hacker, which you all are right now, and gain the experience worth remembering. Definitely, you can help others by becoming the part of an organizing team member, as there are various people like Astha and Harish and other folks. Also, what you can do is that become the hackathon mentor and teach hackers, so that they can learn and build something great. Be the workshop or talk speaker to share your knowledge and experience, just like the way I am doing right now. Become the part of hackathon jury panel to judge great pool of projects. And if in case, just in case, you want to understand or experience all these roles mentioned on the screen altogether, what you can do is be an organizer and host an outstanding hackathon. So that can be done, and it is always an option. So please host a hackathon, help developers out there, create opportunities for them, and you can experience all the above roles together in just a single role, that is organizer. So huge shout out to all the hackathon organizers out there. Last but not the least, I would quickly share my hackathon experience and journey with you all. So this is another picture of mine. I try to use more of my pictures rather than some internet pictures out there, so that makes it more personalized. Anyways, so talking about me, I started my hackathon journey in February 2019, and my team ended up winning that very first hackathon. Believe me, I had never expected that I would win my very first hackathon, where I was wondering that what hacker word actually is. And I did win that hackathon. And if I can win, you can definitely win, because this is 2021. You all are 2 years more updated than me. So definitely give it your best shot. And after I experienced the environment and the hackathon culture of my very first hackathon, I never looked back. I started attending various hackathons at different places and also won few out of them. And so far I attended 10 plus hackathons as a hacker. And let me see the chat right now. It's been a while. Okay, completely true, agreed. Thanks, Ritesh, for agreeing on what I said. I and Harish can relate. Yeah, definitely. That's the point. So yeah, I was talking about my journey. So later in 2020, I thought of giving back to the hacker community and wanted to, teach hackers and share my experience. So what I did was I started mentoring and speaking at different hackathons. And so far I have been mentored in 30 plus hackathons and speaker in around 6 plus hackathons. I haven't updated that, but it might be around 7 to 8 right now at this moment, or maybe 9. I'm not sure, but let's see. Also, I even organized few hackathons to help hackers, solve shared problems of our society and give them some opportunities they can grow with. So that is the thing. And also, if you want to know more about my hackathon journey and want to check out my previous talks, you can visit my website, that is siddharth-hacks.live. In few weeks, I'm going to update my portfolio. So keep an eye on my social media. There is more coming out with my portfolio. There are a number of opportunities. So definitely keep an eye on my social medias and you can get some more opportunities out there. As I said, do not miss any opportunities, whether it is small or big. So this was all about me and my hackathon journey. And summing up all together, it's like more than 50 plus hackathon right now at this moment of time. On that note, I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending my talk and being with me so far. Thanks for being wonderful audience, and I really appreciate that. Also, huge shout out to HackNIT Rourkela team for putting this event together and contributing to enhance the developer and hacker communities out there. So kudos to you folks. Also, I would love to connect with you people on social media, as I was saying right from the beginning, on those brownie points. Take a screenshot of this, share on social medias, and write in the caption what is that three things, I can say three things which you have learned out of this session. Please let us know. I would reshare that, and you can add value to the community so that any of your folks following you, if in case they have not attended this session, they can learn something out of it. This is how you add value to the community. This is just one way you can add it. So that is the thing. So I would love to connect with you all people on my social media, so do not hesitate to find me online on my mentioned platforms. And thanks once again. And now I can take some questions if there are any. So please keep them coming.
Hi Siddharth. Hello. It was a great
Hello.
session. I absolutely loved it. Now let's just go to the question section. Okay, there's one. What are some better ways to form teams and meet people in an online hackathon?
I would say that's a wonderful question, and I really appreciate first of all you asking this question. What you can do is it's very simple. Now, whenever we talk about forming a team, particularly in a hackathon, let me read that question once again. That what are some better ways to form teams and meet people in an online hackathon? Okay, so there are two questions right now in this question. First of all, the question is that how to form the team, and the second question is that how to meet people in online hackathon. So first of all, let's answer how to meet people in online hackathon, because that is the first thing which you can do. Now, first of all, let me ask the organizer, is your communication platform Discord or Slack?
Yeah, it's Discord.
Okay.
I'll. Yeah.
Okay. So see, what you can do is, first of all, there might be different channels on Discord, right? There might be introduction or make your team or something like this. There might be different channels. So first of all, feel free to introduce yourself in those channels. Let others know who you are, where are you joining in from, what is your experience, what are your tech stack, what are your skills. When others will see your message, they will react to that. They will understand, okay, X person is here, right? And they can understand you more than any other way, because you have already mentioned it over there in the message. Others will message like this, you can read out to those message. Now there can be different situation right now. What you can do is hop on to the voice channels, connect with those people, talk to them. Definitely going to reach out to them on Google Meet or Zoom links. So that is one of the way. Other than that, what you can do is there might be different hacker hangouts if Hacker and ITR is uh, organizing that. But hacker hangouts can be the best way in which organizers put down some interesting questions in which hackers can interact within themselves. So that is one of the way you can know more people out there. And after you build up those connections, you can definitely reach out to them asking that, hey, if you're looking for a team member, I am available. This and this are my skills. If you're interested, we can begin with a new team and come up with some interesting idea and solve that during the hackathon period. So that can be done. Other than that, there might be team formation channel or looking for a team or something like that. So feel free to let others know. Unless and until you won't let people know that you are awaiting someone to join your team or you are thinking to join others team, how would people understand? So initiative should be taken from your end. Please let others know, so that if anyone else is looking for a team, they can ask you out, and you can definitely form a team after that. And regarding the connection, as I said, make sure after hacker hangout, all these things are different, but make sure you are connecting with all those folks on social media, especially on LinkedIn, so that you can be connected after the hackathon as well. Because hackathon might be only for 2 days or 3 days. What about after those through 2 to 3 days? So make sure you're connecting with those people on LinkedIn or any other social media, so that they can know about your happenings, you can know what they are doing, and eventually you can end up on a conversation on a regular basis. And this is how you will make that connection and conversation long lasting. So that is one thing which you can do. All right.
I hope Harish Bhaiya that question is answered. In case you want to further engage with this question with more sub questions, you can raise your hand and I'll hand you over a mic. And that is
Definitely.
how I'll go.
All right, so what's the
Yeah.
next question?
Yeah. The next question we have from Swastik Mishra, that is, can you describe an entire journey of any one hackathon you participated in as a hacker?
Yeah, definitely. So let me tell you, I remember I was a part of one of the hackathon named Visathon, which happened in my very own city. And what happened was that, first of all, as I said, I was very explorer. I was a very explorer kind of a person. I was opportunistic. So what I did was I used to, surf all day long on the internet. That is there any hackathon happening around me? So this is how, first of all, I came to know about the hackathon. When I came to know about that, I straight away went and registered for that hackathon. And then I reached out to my friends that, hey, I'm participating in this hackathon. Would you like to team up? And they were also up for that. And then I formed the team before the hackathon. And then we were brainstorming before the hackathon that what it could be, what can be that one unique idea which we can end up and, work on during the hackathon. So that was how it went. And we were like brainstorming, we were meeting on weekends, and we were discussing that what can be that one idea and all such stuffs. And when the hackathon day come, what we did was we went with all our preparation, like we went with hardware with with us in our hand, like Arduino, Raspberry Pi, which was because I started my journey with hardware programming, Internet of Things, and I was much into those projects. So that's why it was mandatory for me to bring all those hardware components with me, that can help me grab attention during the hackathon menu, because everyone were coding and I was like, I was soldering, adding some components, making some robot kind of stuff, you know grabbing everyone's attention. So make sure you do that. This is how people will come to you, or you will reach out to people, build some connections. I can still remember many of the folks which I got to meet in my previous hackathon, so that is really helpful. So that is the thing. Yes, so we went with all our preparation on the venue. The venue was all packed. There were hundreds of hackers coming in. I was like, wow, there's a lot of competition out there, but at the same time I was happy that I can meet hundreds of people on a single place, at a single place, at a single venue, and all together, right? So that is the thing. And as in the in-person hackathon, it was like a big projector in which the hackathon counter starts. The 24 hours counter is began. And I was very happy, our team member were happy, and we began with our journey of making those, turning our ideas into a solution, into a model, into a hack, into a project. So we started with it. And then there were different opportunities in between. There were different speaker sessions, the speakers were coming in, and there were some mini events in which we got to play. And this is interesting thing about the mini events or some games, because what happens is when you play a game, you will definitely interact with some other person. You will definitely laugh. You will definitely, create that joy moment. If you can listen my cat meowing, it's like just beside me, so please ignore that right now. And yes, so it was like, that's the time when you can, open up yourself and greet others that, hey, I'm joining in from this city, where are you from, what are you doing? So this is how, you make connection. And this is what I did as well. And then after that, what happened was, I remember that our desk was here, someone else's desk was beside me, and they were facing some problem. So they definitely reached out to me that, hey, Siddharth, would you be able to solve this thing? And I wasn't knowing that person, neither he was knowing about me. But this is how you help others and learn from others as well. So I definitely reached out to them. I told them something about this. They even asked me that, will that be a right way? And we pondered upon that particular problem. And this is how we both gradually learned out of that something and ended up solving that particular small problem. Now, here at this moment, did not thought that that was some other team member or the other team's person, and I would not help that person, or else what would have happened if me helping that person can make them win the hackathon? That can happen. But what my mindset was, I was not there to win the hackathon, but I was there to experience the hackathon, and that is the difference. So never think about that thing. So that was the thing. And then we were working on a project, and eventually we ended up, luckily we would not we weren't we did not require the plan B. We managed to work ourselves around plan A as well. And let me tell you about our project as well. So our project was named as Netra. So it was like an eye for blind. We made some hardware project in which a blind person can experience their surroundings. It was like we used Google Cloud API, text to speech API. We were having a camera which would capture the photos of the surrounding, and that photo will be sent out to the machine learning model. And the photo would be, we would run the object recognition script over that. The object would be recognized, and that can be converted into the script. And then those objects will be converted from text to speech, and that particular speech can be heard in the ears of that blind person. So that, for example, I'm a blind person, I'm sitting on a chair. On just a click of a button, I can capture the surrounding and know, and I can hear what is there in front of me, whether it is a car, whether it is a flower, something like that. It can be anything, isn't it? So that is what we did. Oops, just give me a second. My cat just jumped in on my desk, as you can see right now. So sorry for that interruption. They are quite mischievous. So this was how our project was. And then we pitched about our, first of all, the judges came onto our desk. They asked a number of questions, that what is your idea, what did you do to come up to this particular solution, what was your main idea behind coming on to this idea, why you thought about this idea. And these were some interesting questions. And we were like, okay, this is the thing, we came here by this or this on this on so and so and so. And there were like around 2 to 3 rounds of judging, and after that the top 10 teams were declared, out of which we were there in the top 10 teams. And after that announcement, we were called on to the main stage to pitch our ideas finally into the power judging round, which we say. So that was the thing. And then we went on to the stage, and then we pitched about our idea. And there were again a number of questions which judges asked. So as I said, pitching can turn the tables here. So make sure your pitch such is designed in such a manner that can answer all the questions of the judges. So whenever you are participating in a hackathon, pay attention to all the questions which judges ask in first 3 rounds, because the final round questions will be around those 3 round questions as well. Because, for example, the judge has gave you some feedback or working on something, then you can know about what judges are expecting for you to come up with. For example, if you are implementing an application and judge said that implement a sign up page in first or second round, you have still not done that in third round, and the judge again say that why you haven't implemented the sign up page in the third round as well. Now when you come up with that same sign up page in the final round, the judges might not have that much of question. This is how you make your judges convinced that you have been doing something and you have done something throughout the hackathon. And then the judges, then the pitching went off, and we were all together sitting in a room. The judges were working on scoring and all those things. And then it started with her second, and we ended up winning that hackathon. And that was epic moment. Believe me, that was something altogether different, because that was like around fourth, fifth, or sixth hackathon of mine, and I was on top of the sky. So definitely that feeling is altogether different. But even understand this, even if you're not winning that hackathon, be happy in that as well, because you are in such a group of people that have come so far. Even I have not won all of my hackathons. Out of 10 plus hackathons which I have attended, I have won around 2 to 3 hackathons. I have been in top 4 teams in 3 hackathons, and I have been in top 10 teams in around 2 or 3 hackathons. And the rest of the hackathons, I've just participated in and experienced the hackathon. So it's all right if you're not winning that hackathon. So do not get demotivated over here, right? And that was a pretty long answer, but I hope you might have understood.
It was a pretty good answer, though. Yeah, Swastik, I hope your question is answered. We can move to the next question. The next question is from Rahul, and it says, all of us run out of ideas, project ideas sometimes. How did you overcome that roadblock?
Yes, definitely. It happens with me a lot of times. Lot of times, every time I would say, because what happens is, just imagine you're just sitting in your room, you're doing nothing at all, and suddenly you would come up with some idea that I would do this, I should solve this problem. And what happens then? You just imagine that I would do that thing, and then you end up forgetting that thing, right? And when the actual moment of truth is there, when you're participating in a hackathon and you and your team member are sitting on a desk and wondering what to work on, every one of you are not coming up with any idea. And if you are coming up with any idea, you might think that this idea is very vague or something like that. But that might not be the case. Whenever, in every moment of your life, even if the smallest moment, if you're coming up with any idea, please note that down. It's not a wastage of any paper. Note it down in your mobile phone, or send it out in your WhatsApp group or somewhere, so that you can save that idea of yours, because your idea is very valuable. You can't even imagine how your solution can bring a change in many others life as well, right? So that is the first step. If you are coming up with idea in any moment of your life, please note it down at that very moment. Do not think that I would remember this thing and implement this in next hackathon or something like that, because at that moment you won't even realize that what that idea was. So please note that down. And when we talk about running out of the ideas during the hackathon, what you can do is just observe your surroundings, or talk to your friends and family members, as I said, because they will give you some different perspective altogether, because you might be thinking something else and they might come up with some different scenarios. So that is where you can brainstorm with your team and come up with different ideas altogether. So that is one thing which you can do, and believe me, that really helps out. I have implemented this thing in the past personally, and this has helped me a lot in my journey as well. So make sure you are implementing those things. So first thing, write down write down your ideas whenever they are peeping out. And second thing, talk to your friends, mentors, or anyone else which you are close to, and get their perspective. And also third thing, if you are thinking your idea is vague, that your idea is very simple, do not think like that. No idea is simple, no idea is bigger. It's just the problem which you're trying to solve. Because it should not be that your idea is small, you should not solve that. No, do not see that. See how many people are getting impacted by solving that idea, right? So I still remember in my very first hackathon, the problem which we were solving was self improvised solar panel. This was our project idea. And what I and my team members did was, we just cleaned the solar panels in an automated way. Because what happened was, in my state, in my city particularly, there were many NGOs, and those NGOs were having solar panels onto the roofs. And what happened was, due to dust accumulation onto those solar panels, the electricity ratio got decreased. And what we did was, we managed to get ourselves a self-improvised, a self-cleansing solar panel, so that on just a click of one button in a mobile application, that solar panel can just get wet off with the water, with the running water, and it can clean it by itself. That was just a simple idea. Just imagine if you were at home, what would you have done? You would have, poured the bucket of water onto those solar panel. What we did was we just, attached a motor, we attached a pipe, we made an application, and an on and off button. This was just a simple idea. We ended up being second in that hackathon. So never think how big or simple your idea is. It's just that how many people you are impacting with your idea, and the way you are bringing that idea into reality. So that is the thing. What's the next question?
Yeah, I hope Rahul that answer does answer your question. The next question is there are various types of hackathons like dev post, dev folio type, and others like D2C and HackerOd. They are basically vary with the number of judging processes. So how do you ace each and every type of hackathons, especially the Indian ones?
Yeah, I can understand the sarcasm which you are trying to put in over here, but I would say, see, every hackathon have different story, have different perspective, and for you to understand that particular hackathon, what one thing which you need to do is understand the hackathon. Now, when I mean by understanding the hackathon is, first of all, just read out the entire website of the hackathon, know what they are going through, what is the mindset of the hackathon organizing team, or also get introduced with the judges on their social medias when they are announcing the judges. Know about the judges, get to know what are the types of judges joining in, what are their experiences, and what is the type of perspective which they are coming in from. Second thing is, get to know the judging criteria. As I said earlier as well, whenever you are understanding the judging criteria, you will understand how to make your pitch around that judging criteria. For example, just imagine one of the judging criteria is innovation, right? Now, when you're proposing your idea, add those points that can highlight the innovation which you are bringing in within your idea. For example, let me give my example of the solar panel one. So what I would say in such a situation, that I have made this, a self-cleansing solar panel, and this is the innovation. Now use such terms, use such keywords, because judges are not going to judge the way they know. Judges are going to judge the judging criteria which they have been provided by the organizers, right? So they'll be looking out for those keywords and those points which are already mentioned in the judging criteria. So that is one basic thing which you need to at least keep in mind. Other than that, talking about different phases of judging, like round one, round two, round three. So understand that thing, and ask the question to organizer that for round one, is it the only idea which is going to be judged, or the entire product, or the entire life cycle? What is that one thing which is going to be judged in round one? So make sure you are asking those questions beforehand. It's never wrong in asking the question. Do not think that you will be judged or made fun out of something. No, it's not like that. You are here to participate. So make sure you are getting answers to all your questions. We are here, the judges, the mentors, the organizing teams are here to answer you all people and help you out there. So never think that you will be judged or something like that. So that is one thing. Also, talking about different platforms like DevPost, DevFolio. So there are different, as you already know, there are different types of submission in DevPost. That is altogether a structured thing which you are getting in DevPost. That inspiration, how you come up with this idea, what are the technologies you have used, or what are the problems which you have faced, what is that one thing which you have learned. So there is a proper structure in dev post when you are submitting the hackathon. So make sure you are doing that. Also the sponsors tracks, make sure, for example, if you know game development, if you know AR/VR, so there might be echo AR. So you can register for choose the echo AR track, and other than that, you can also submit it for the open innovation, right? So there can be an opportunity for you to win two prizes at the same time. It's not like that. Other than that, how to ace each and every type of hackathon, especially Indian hackathon, I cannot understand that sarcasm right now, but I can definitely see how you are working around the judging process. But as I said earlier, if you will keep an eye on the perspective of the hackathon, the information which they are putting on, and the judging criteria, that can be really helpful. And please get answers to all your questions. That is what one thing which I can say right now to you. Apart from that, if you still have any questions around that, feel free to reach out to me. Also, I would join the Discord server if not yet, so that I can
Yeah,
answer your questions. you can tag me over there, and I'll definitely reach out to you.
Yes, that I'll soon mail you the Discord link. Also, a quick question. There are a few more questions. Would you like to take them, or should we direct them like after you join the Discord or something? Like,
If
is
there are
it
like
feasible for you
two,
time wise to?
yeah, definitely. If there are around two more questions, I can definitely take two more questions right now, and then we can shift on to the Discord.
Cool. We'll just go for two more questions and then shift to Discord. The next
Sure.
question is, how can you work on a tech stack in a hackathon that we haven't worked on before?
That's a really interesting question. What I would say at this moment is there can be again two situations. Now, that first situation is that you already know some tech stack and you haven't implemented that before. So this is the best timing for you to implement that thing and understand what that tech stack can bring on to the table. That is one thing. Second is that you have never known about one particular tech stack. You have recently learned that tech stack in a hackathon by attending some workshops or something, and then you want to implement that thing. Now, what happens here is that you have a fresh pair of eyes at this moment. You are definitely perfectly new for that particular tech stack, and you are wondering that how I can start with that. Now, what happens is then just know the basics first of all, basics of that particular tech stack, and start. Because what happens is in a team, it might not be the situation where everyone is not aware about the hackathon, about the tech stack, right? So if even if everyone is not aware about the tech stack, there are different mentors. Unless and until you won't start with using that particular tech stack, you won't be able to recognize what are the different opportunities or different things which you can bring out using that tech stack. So definitely give it a try and start with that. And also it can be a cherry on a cake if you can end up getting the successful project after performing something on that particular tech stack. So definitely give it a try. There are plenty of resources on the internet. You can just Google everything right now. There is Stack Overflow, there is resources, company documentations, and whatnot. And of course, no one can miss the mentors, which are bringing some varied experience and skills onto the table. So make sure you are reaching out to them. There might be some channel, Ask Mentor channel in the Discord server. So you can reach out to the mentors and ask your queries, drop some links, get on a voice channel with them. And this is how you will learn and work on the recently tech stack which you have explored, which you have recently learned or something like that. So definitely give it a go. It's not that if you haven't worked with that particular tech stack before, you can't do anything. You can definitely do that. It's 24 hours, 36 hours, or 48 hours, whatever hours duration it is. You can definitely come up with something. It's not that you have to build the final working prototype, but at least try, give it your best shot. This is not the last hackathon you are participating. If not happens in this hackathon, you can definitely continue in another hackathon. So definitely do not think about this, that what if you would not be able to complete this thing in this hackathon. There are a number of hackathons waiting for you. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Siddha. That was actually a thing which is relevant to a lot of us. Okay, let's come to the last question for this time. That is, how to come out of losing a hackathon despite giving your best, and then again participating in others. Like in 2020, I had a losing streak despite giving my best in most of the hackathons I took part. It's from Devabrata Bhaiya, who is like a really, really good streak of winning it this time.
Mhm. So that's a wonderful question, and many folks ask me the same question, that what if we are not able to win the hackathon, and what happens, how to come out of it. So that is really an obvious choice. And when I started my journey, I was also feeling somewhere low when I used to not win that hackathon after putting in lots and lots of efforts. I used to wake up all night, I used to code, I used to work with my team members, I used to ponder upon different problems, different solution. I used to walk around late nights and whatnot. There are a lot of other things which happens in mind of a particular hacker. And after all those hard work, after all those things which you have worked around, there comes a moment when you're not getting out of it something, right? So this might be the mindset of you right now, but let me just slightly try to change that mindset right now. What happens is, whenever you're participating in a hackathon, never go with the intention of winning that hackathon straight away, right? That is one thing which I would say right now. Of course, people are coming in for putting in their efforts and winning the hackathon. That's a good thing. But when a person is solely focusing on winning the hackathon, not at all other things, that is when the disappointment level will be at the top. So that should not be there. Second thing is that when you are, losing a hackathon, when you're not winning any hackathon, make sure you're reminding yourself that whatever, for example, if I'm losing a hackathon, I would say, hey Siddharth, this is not the last hackathon. There are many other hackathons coming in. Do not think what you have lost, think what you have gained. You have gained lots and lots of learning. You have made valuable connections. You have experienced this hackathon. You have made these projects which even I don't know when would I have made this if I would not have attended this hackathon, right? And if you are, for example, if you are left with completing the project after the hackathon ends, you can definitely complete your project and showcase yourself on social media, on your GitHub profile. You can add those projects into your portfolio. If you're not winning right now, definitely you can win in the future, because it's not like that. Not in the hackathon. I'm not talking about hackathons right now. If you're not winning in the hackathon, you can win your career. So that is the one thing which you need to keep in mind. I After attending lots and lots of hackathons, I have realized this one thing. I've got to meet lots and lots of people who have not at all attended or participated or won a single hackathon, but they are doing wonders in their career right now, and they are of my age. So never think about that, because everyone have different stories altogether. Everyone have different backgrounds. Everyone have different stories. What you can do, someone else cannot do about the same. So never feel about that thing. And it's not all about winning a hackathon. It's about how much you have taken out of it, how many people you have met, how people think about you. I still remember there was one hackathon in which I participated, and I gave my best. Talking honestly, I gave my best, and there were other team members. Now after the hackathon ends, like before final results and after hackathon ends, there is such a moment where everyone is just sitting on in the at the venue, and they are just talking to each and everyone, having some snacks and something like that. And that moment of time, this is a habit of me and other team members as well, that you would win, no, you would win. Everyone says like that your project was awesome, you would definitely win. And it happens that I do not win, and someone else who was telling me to win, he ends up winning that hackathon, right? So what more important for me is not winning, but for more what more important for me is that the winner is absolutely talking about my project. So that is the thing. It should not be the role which you are getting, the winning role, but how many people in the room are talking about your projects, are talking about you. That is one thing which will talk about you after the hackathon ends. So I remember I used to participate in series of hackathon. For example, I participated in hackathon 1.0. Then I remember I participated in hackathon 2.0, and there were like similar phases. And it was like, hey Siddharth, you were best in hackathon 1.0. Please be, a little bit humble with us in hackathon 2.0. So that is the thing. You did not ended up winning that hackathon, but people are talking about you, good points about you. So that is more important, isn't it? So that role of winning that hackathon won't be helpful in that situation. So mold yourself in such a way so that people can talk about you even if you do not win the hackathon. People can talk about your project, about your efforts, about your experience, about your learning, even if you do not win that hackathon. Winning the hackathon is not all. That is just a part of the hackathon journey, the hackathon experience, as I discussed in all my slides. So there are any n number of ways you can make most out of the hackathon. So that is the thing.
Okay, thank you, Siddharth. We have completed all questions. So we come to the end of it. I think that I said at the beginning of the leaderboard, people who are still attending and hearing the entire talk, here's your go. I'll put the special code and the typeform link in the chat. Please do fill up and you will get your increase in your brownie points. So thank you, Siddharth, for an awesome session. It was great to hear from you.
Thank
And
you.
honestly, it was one of my best sessions that I've ever attended till now, because you spoke really what is relatable to probably most of us, because I completed a hackathon today morning, which I did not make or did not win it, but even though the project was really well. So there are things which I could relate to a lot. So thank you a lot, and we'll end the session and hope to see you at the backstage.
Yeah, it was amazing,
Definitely.
Siddharth, and it was definitely a amazing experience interacting with you, and the answers that you gave for the questions were really awesome. It was very descriptive, and it was very nice. Thank you, Siddharth, for joining us. And
And
have a
thanks
great day.
everyone for attending the session.
Bye bye,
Tada.
everyone, and all the best. Good luck.